Last week, my husband and I celebrated 8 years of marriage and 14 years together. It's been like quite a date, and I wanted to share with you in this episode what it taught me because it's been 8 years, a lot of learnings, a lot of mistakes, a lot of things coming on this way. And I wanted to share with you the top 3 things that were coming up for me and how it actually applies not just to relationship, but also to your business and brand in general. And it's actually the very first episode that I'm also filming, and I'm recording here, filming here. So it actually it's a new setup for me. Let's see how it goes. But I wanted to do my podcast episodes on video as well, and hopefully it's going to serve you as well, so you can watch them on YouTube as well, and I get to share my beautiful space with you. So my husband and I, we met originally in Brazil while doing our masters in business, and we clicked like instantly because we had the same vision for life. We had literally the same ambition, the same vision, how we wanted to grow, develop, where we want to live. We really had this big desire to explore the world and see the world, all of those things. And together we've lived in 9 countries. That's the perks of being your own boss and working from anywhere. And so you can live independently. And this was literally what we valued so much. We wanted to see the world, and we wanted to explore it on a deeper level beyond just being tourists, beyond just traveling to different places. So we've lived in 9 countries together in Europe, in Asia, and we visited about 50 countries together. So it hasn't been always perfect or easy though, because obviously we've grown together. We've learned a lot of things. We worked through a lot of things too. And it's been quite a journey. And in this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit behind the scenes and my top 3 takeaways. And by the way, before we dive in, I actually, at the very end, I'm going to share with you why do I talk about this? I mean, yes, because it's been something very fresh, what's on my mind. It's literally came up, but I'm going to be sharing because it's a very great marketing lesson. I've been sharing actually this with my husband, and he's like, well, yeah, I know you're just such a marketing genius. I'm going to be sharing with you why I share this, and because it's a very, very specific purpose behind that. So stay to the very end. Okay, so here are top 3 things that I learned in our relationship. I mean, obviously there are a zillion of things I learned through. We've grown so much. I've grown so much myself as a woman, as a wife, as a friend, as a business leader, like everything in all aspects. But I wanted to focus on those top 3 things because I think they really relate to building a business, building a brand. And it's very much interchangeable. So the very first thing is, like, when you think about a good coach, a really good coach, being a great coach means seeing your clients in the best possible light, holding the vision for them before they can see what is possible for them. If you're a coach yourself, how many times you had a client who come on a call to you and they come to work with you because they want different results in their life, they want bigger things, they want to be like on the next level, not where they are at now, but they cannot get there themselves. They are not sure they can get there. They are not sure they are capable, or they have all the resources or skills or talents or knowledge. That's why they come to work with you. And a great coach is the one who is gonna show them what is possible, who is gonna hold this vision for them, who is gonna really be there for them, who is going to be their cheerleader as well, who's going to be their mentor, their guide, who is going to walk that path with them, and beyond just sharing the knowledge, is going to coach them, is going to share the lessons with them, it's going to literally be with them and hold them to a higher standard. If you think about that, a great coach. And then the question that comes to mind is, do you see your audience, like people in your audience, on your socials, on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn, on your TikTok, wherever you might be, do you see them as amazing humans, or are you annoyed with them, like not buying, not getting what you're doing, and not enrolling in your programs, in your masterclasses? Like, where are you at? That's a very profound question, and literally it's the same in relationship. And it was something that didn't come natural to me. It was something that I had to learn, and I had to be very like very intentional about. So how do I want to see my husband? Obviously, we are not perfect. Like no one is perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to be the best version of myself, but by no means I am perfect, even though I'm trying to do my very best. And then when you see your partner on a daily life, how do you see themselves? Do you see them as an amazing human being and you're trying to cheer them up? You're trying to hold the vision for them. You're trying to be a supportive partner for them. Or are you annoyed that they haven't put the dishes in the dishwasher, or they haven't bought, I don't know what, butter for the 10th time? How does it sound? Like again, how does it sound? And I've actually heard so many times from friends or from people, like being in this close knit relationship, all of a sudden you get a little glimpse on that, and you will see sometimes like one of the partners, they would be really picking their partner apart and like, why you don't do this? I have told you so many times, why you don't do that? And like literally be annoyed. And how do you think the other person is feeling? They are not feeling great. They don't want to be there. I mean, when you are in a marriage, you are committed to your partner. You're in this long-term partnership, and you really want to be intentional that you are creating the space where both humans feel really good and both humans help each other grow and develop and achieve better goals, bigger vision, all of that. I know for somebody it may sound like, yeah, duh, obvious, but I've seen a lot of examples where like it's just so easy to sleep and it's just so easy to just go other direction. Like, I am so annoyed you haven't bought this. For example, my husband, he cannot, like he literally doesn't understand vegetables. So whenever, like I prefer to shop myself for the vegetables, because if I ask him like buy a cucumber and he's gonna buy a zucchini, like he just cannot differentiate. He just cannot get that. So there are like, it's normal. There are so many things when it's just not working. It's not going to go your way. It's going to be something that's going to be annoying. But the question is, who do you want to be? Do you, and where do you want this partnership to be? And it's literally the same in coaching as well. What kind of coach you want to be? And if you look around in the market, you will see that, oh, there are different ways how people are showing up as a coach as well online. You will see a lot of people, they will be, for example, really talking about pain, how you're going to be stuck forever unless you come and work with me, or you're going to be like, you will never achieve success because you're doing this and that, you're playing small, you're thinking small, come and work with me. And that method works as well, but again, the question comes down to you, who do you want to attract? Because different type of message attracts different type of people. What kind of client you want to also kind of create and attract? And this is what I teach my clients as well. If you want to attract premium clients, the one that come to you and they come pre-sold. They are the clients who are ready to invest big in time, focus, energy, and money. Those are the clients that are getting the best results. If you want to attract those type of clients, you need to speak to the vision, to the desire, and you want to hold this vision for them, not to talk to them down or talk to pain and all of that. So that's number one. Number two, oh, actually, coming back to the first point as well, that's how I work with my clients as well. Inside my brand mentorship, that's exactly what I do. I literally, coaches come to me and a lot of them, they are incredible. They are really so good. And I help them see their own brilliance. I help them being sold themselves on their own brilliance. And then I help them package it, position it, and start promoting it consistently. And we get incredible results. Now, step number two, or number two thing that I learned through this multi-year relationship and marriage is that you will have challenges and you're going to have difficult moments. You're going to have uncomfortable decisions to be made. You're going to have uncomfortable conversations to be held. And it's just part of life. It's part of any relationship, even a very, very good one. And in business, it's the same. Even when you follow a proven framework, proven method, there will be bumps on the road. It's just inevitable because, yeah, we are living in the world where things are moving. It's not that it's like ABC, everything is black and white. Just follow those steps, and no matter what, anybody can achieve anything. It doesn't work like that. There is a lot of nuance, there is a lot of calibration. But ultimately, if you stick to the big vision and you are willing to learn and work through things, you are going to succeed. So this is a question for you, because most people are going to fail because they just don't want to go through that discomfort. They don't want to hold those uncomfortable conversations. They don't want to coach their client and tell them like, listen, what you're doing is not right. And instead of trying to kind of be a kind coach, you will hold them accountable and you will show them the pitfalls of their own thinking, or you will support them through difficult conversation that needs to happen. And it's just part of that. It's part of that. You have to be committed as a partner, as a coach, as an expert in your area, that you're not just there to be a fairy godmother, but you're there to really hold people accountable, and you're there to go through that discomfort and to have those uncomfortable conversations. This is pretty big. And the last thing is about trust. If you know anything about sales, you know that in order for the sale to happen, you need to have trust in place. That's a prerequisite of sale. You need to have trust in place. If you want to have deep committed relationship, if you want your partner to be committed to you, you need to have trust. And trust is not a one-time declaration. It's not a one-time thing. Trust is built over time. It is built by showing up with depth, with clarity, with consistency over time. It's literally not a one-time thing. And this is when I work with my clients and my coaches, I'm telling like, okay, here are a few things that are going to make the biggest difference in your life and in your business. And one of them is being consistent, is literally being consistent, showing up consistently for your clients, for your audience. And the mistake though is that a lot of people are thinking like, oh, I have to be everywhere. I have to post all the time, 3 times a day, every day. No, it's not about that. It's about being very intentional, showing up with consistent message, and then showing up consistently, meaning you choose what it is, the timeline that works for you. It might be 3 times a week, and this could be already fine. Okay, we're not talking about once a month, like you have to be realistic, but like a few times a week, not necessarily every day, but a few times a week, and you stick to that schedule and you show up consistently. What happens is that people start seeing you again and again. They start trusting you. And especially if you're showing up, I like to say as a brand, meaning that the way you show up, what you say, how you say it, and how you show up visually are all one thing. Because usually when people are gonna progress on this line from I don't know you to okay, maybe I'm ready to sign up for your masterclass, maybe I'm ready to hop on a call with you, maybe I can come and actually consider buying from you, you usually need to have like at least 11, 12 touch points. Again, this is rough data. The data comes from Google about the buying behavior from digital consumers. Of course, it would depend on the price point. Of course, it's going to depend on how you show up. Of course, it's going to depend like a lot of factors, but I would say a minimum of 11, 12 touch points. And touch points meaning that people need to see you again and again. Okay, they came and see you on a podcast. They listen to you on a podcast. Then they've seen you on Instagram. Then they read your post on LinkedIn. Then they came on your masterclass. Then they received your email newsletter. So you're creating this bank of your world, of your work. And every time you show up, they see you, you create trust. And the very important thing there is that you show up consistently, meaning that you always come up, and it's not that today you're talking about this thing and tomorrow you're talking about something else. Because if you're doing that, if you have this kind of random thoughts without strategy, it means that you're not creating those 11, 12 touch points. Every time it's like you're starting from you. In the mind of your buyer, you're not creating those touch points. And that's the same in relationship, it's like when you meet, it's one thing. And then with the years, you start to develop a much deeper trust, like levels of trust, a different level of depth of how you rely on each other, What do you know you can expect from your partner? Like when I think about my marriage and how I was at the, not even at the beginning of a relationship, but let's say like 5 years through the relationship versus how I am now, like 14 years down the line, completely different things. The level of trust we have for each other, the level of just knowing this person is there for you no matter what, and like it's just completely different thing. And that's the same in business. That's also what I help my clients achieve when they come to work with me inside brand mentorship. It's not just the positioning or creating the offer. We are literally creating your trusted voice, your expert presence, your magnetic content that sells, and the whole system with a masterclass strategy. So people get to feel you on a deeper level. You create this trust, and it pays off over a long period of time, so many times. Okay, I guess those were the three things. I hope it makes sense. I would actually love to know from you if it makes sense, what resonates, if it brings you any insights, if it brings you any actionable points, or you're thinking like, okay, I'm going to implement it right away. I would love to hear that. Just message me on Instagram and share with me that you're listening to the episode. I would love that. And then what I promised at the very beginning, sharing with you why I actually talk about this. Why? Okay, here is kind of behind the scenes of my business and strategy and thinking of my business. And a lot of newer coaches who come to me, and I see this, like a lot of them, they're working very hard and they're trying to show up consistently, but what I'm seeing is that they're showing up without much depth or strategy. While in my business, in my online presence, everything I share has a meaning and strategy behind that. Absolutely everything. I don't share random things. Everything has an intention and strategy and meaning behind that. So over the weekend, I shared just the stories that, oh, had a big week, celebrated 8 years of marriage, 14 years together with my husband. Received so many reactions. First thing, why did I even share that? Why? Because clients, especially premium clients, they are looking for stability. They are looking for trust. They are looking for levels of connection. So when I'm saying that I'm somebody who has been in a committed relationship, in marriage for so many years, what does it tell about me? It tells like, oh, okay, she is somebody who is very stable in her personal life. And if you know anything about us humans, you know that the way you show up in one thing or the way you do one thing is the way you do pretty much everything else. So when you show that, people get to see like, oh, okay, she has such a stability, has such a commitment in her personal life. Okay, that's great. Probably this is how she shows up as a coach as well for her clients. Second thing, I share that because I do share some personal things. I don't share much of the personal stuff on Instagram or on social media in general. It's just like not my thing. I don't like to document my life or share everything behind the scene. Like I don't like to be in the center of attention or share anything like this. Absolutely not my thing. But I do share those personal things. I do because, again, to have this deeper connection with my audience. When you want to create trust, you need to connect with people on a deeper level beyond just, oh, this is me as an expert, this is me in my professional environment. Because if you're just showing up as an expert, it's a bit dry. It lacks connection. People like to connect to humans. First of all, they're going to connect to you as a human. Then they're going to connect to you on a personal level. That's why I do share some personal stuff. But also there are like very specific things that I would share on the personal stuff. If you actually want to go deeper on that, I have an episode specifically about that. I think it like maybe episode number 10 about content that converts, and it talks about the specific structure. I would share once in a while, okay, my husband and I, we do this, we travel there, ta-da-da. Okay, and then I saw that I got so many reactions, literally like hundreds of reactions and hearts and congratulations messages, and I thought, oh, okay, people are actually very curious, very interested, very triggered by that. Okay, great. Let me create a post on that. And I was just thinking, okay, what can I share about that beyond just like, this is the love story, this is where we met, what we did, ta-da-da. I mean, that's already pretty good. But then I thought, actually, I had so many learnings, and I love sharing the learnings. This is also comes back to the depth of how you show up, the depth of your content. So I was thinking, okay, like those three things, and they actually apply to building a brand and a business. And I thought, oh, I love that. So I shared that on Instagram, and that post blew up as well. So many saves, so many people reaching out to me, because I also lead it to the applications in my program, and it works beautifully. So you can see how it made to somebody who does not understand marketing on a deeper level. They would think like, oh, she's just sharing random personal stuff. It just happens that she had an anniversary. That's why she shares. No, there is a bigger meaning behind that. So I saw that. That's why I created the post. I sent a newsletter to my audience about that as well, sharing these in-depth elements. And then right now I'm creating this podcast for you, talking about that, because also people, they consume content in different ways. Some people like to watch it, some people like to swipe, to read, some people like to see pictures, some people like to listen to it. So here we are having those different ways how you can connect to the same message. And that's also what I teach my clients, how it's not about just hustle. You have to hustle to create bigger volume of content. No, you can be very strategic. You can repurpose your content. And this is what I usually do. It's not that I create new type of content for Instagram and for LinkedIn and for my newsletter. No, absolutely not. I create one idea and then I just adapt the formats to different platforms. This is how you show up consistently but sustainably as well. No burnout needed. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this message behind the scenes. I hope it's been valuable, insightful, you loved it. And if you haven't attended my masterclass, I highly recommend for you how to stand out as a coach on social media or online in general. If you're somebody who wants to attract premium clients consistently, predictably, without being online 24/7, without being on camera all the time, all of that, I share with you 5 very common mistakes that I see a lot of coaches are making, and it only leads to burnout, not to the results that you want. And I share with you my exact blueprint, proven framework, 3-step framework, where I walk my clients through, they get results. It's the framework that I've been using myself for the past 5-6 years, and it works beautifully. So you can just go to ninawalder.com/standout and sign up. The link is going to be in the show notes as well. And then I see you in the masterclass. Bye.